Next question is from the Matthew Holcomb. I've been seeing a lot of growing popularity with Zercher squats and deadlifts. Is there a benefit to those over traditional squats or deadlifts?
Can we take credit for that?
I would like to say yes.
Can we take credit for that? I mean, I want to.
When we first started talking about now we didn't invent those. Those are old.
No. It's been around for a long time.
But nobody was doing them.
We've definitely brought them into our programming, and I think that not a lot of people were. So we're highlighting them as a very beneficial exercise that people should pursue.
So Zercher,
I don't know anybody, okay, and I'm sure there's somebody, but I don't know anybody in the fitness space that is not a strongman or powerlifter person that
powerlifters didn't do it. It was only strongmen.
Yeah, strongmen that are incorporating that.
Yeah,
like in their programming, like all the fitness
for
influencers,
physique development.
All your fitness influencers that are out there. I don't know anybody that has incorporated those into their programming.
So for people who don't know, these are lifts where think of a squat, but you're holding the barbell in the crook of your elbow, so your arms are bent, and so you think, why would you want to do that?
Super uncomfortable.
Yeah, why would you want to do that when you can hold it with your hands or you can put the weight on your back? It's uncomfortable, the whole deal. And I would like to take credit because when we talked about these lifts for physique development, nobody was doing these at all. And now lots of people seem to be doing them. We have them programmed in some of our workouts. Definitely Map Strong has them. So why do these for physique development? Okay, we talk about full range of motion training all the time. We talk about how muscles stabilize. And if you're in an isometric contraction, there's a little carryover to outside of the range of motion that the muscle's holding, but most of the strength is in that range of motion. When I'm doing a Zercher deadlift or a squat, I'm simulating what's known as rounded back lifting. My scapula, not rounded low back, okay, but my upper back, my scapula has to spread a little bit for me to support the weight. So what you'll find is your muscles will get sore differently. Now the value in the real world is massive. When you're holding things, when you're hugging things and lifting things, you're rounded back.
Loading, here with the rounded back position. It's very much more of a functional lift that you would encounter in real life.
Yes, and I found doing this really developed my back to a whole nother level. So it's a different exercise. Even though they're called squats and deadlifts, a Zercher squat is very different than a traditional squat. A Zercher deadlift is very different from a traditional deadlift. Now, it is a very uncomfortable lift, and it takes time to get used to. Like a barbell squat takes someone a long time to get used to the positioning.
Yeah.
Holding a barbell in the crook of your arm, you have to get used to being able to do it.
I found it really highlights core strength. So it's one of those sort of, it'll make or break you initially when you start to learn how to do them properly. But like to expose like posterior anterior chain at the same time, I think too, it's one of those lifts that has that unique kind of value where you do feel a lot of benefit on both at the same time.
So along those lines, I'll sell this even harder because I remember introducing this into my lifts and kind of feeling that like, oh, this is, why am I doing this? And feeling so sore in my core. So when I started to squat a lot more frequently, I started to, figure out like the feet thing and my ankle mobility. And I started piecing together all these things that I had breakdown and why I wasn't a good squatter. And one of the things that made me a much better squatter was being able to really brace the core. There's a lot of power that leaks in people's and this is also why when you people that wear weight belts notice a big difference when they have a weight belt and they squat, like what a difference. Like a lot of people can lift
stable when
20, 50 more plus
50,
pounds.
For me, it's 50 pounds.
Yeah. So, and a lot, that's because you've created this artificial, basically, core for yourself. And so learning to really intrinsically brace your core in a squat makes a big difference on your ability to power out of the hole. And it wasn't until I started doing Zercher squats, because it was so hard on my core that it trained me to really have to stabilize that in the squat. And that was the biggest benefit. And also your rounded back, I saw value in that for functional in real life. But I actually saw the carryover into my barbell back squat because I got so good at bracing my core. Because you can kind of get away with a barbell back squat. You can kind of cheat the way you brace your core.
Kind of rest on the.
You can have a very loose kind of core and come in and out of the hole, and you'll see this. Like when someone comes out of a squat, there's a little bit of this kind of play. It's not like they stay rigid when they squat. They kind of have this and have a flimsy core, and a lot of power gets leaked out of that. And learning to really brace hard through the whole movement, that came for me from introducing Zercher squats into my lifts.
The Zercher variations develop my mid back, my glutes, and my core differently than the traditional variation. So, the bottom line is it's a different exercise. but it's a very valuable version of these exercises, and incorporating them into your workouts, you'll get benefits for sure, strength and development benefits.